everybody, welcome back. It's Joey, you're watching VegasDtech, and today guys, I've got another tech review for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at the Corvette of performance scooters. This is made by a company called INNMOTION. This is the RS. Now guys, for those of you that are not into scooters or not into tech reviews, go ahead and click off right now, because this video right here is going to be the unboxing of a flagship scooter. I would like to see just what that looks like, and after we get this all put together, we're going to go ahead in part two. We're going to go ahead and take this out to Lake Mead. We're going to ride it all over Lake Mead to see just what it can actually do out there in the real world. But today I'm going to go ahead and see what we get in this box. This scooter is going to come with two 2,000 watt motors front and rear, which can propel this scooter up to 68 miles per hour. Now guys, I personally don't have a need to go that fast on a scooter. However, many of the other scooters that I have reviewed in the past, the problem with those scooters are, as the power runs down, let's say 30%, the performance on those scooters starts to degrade quickly. And the reason that I was interested in this scooter is that if it can hold a 63 mile per hour top end charge, but all I really need the scooter to do is say 35 to 40, then I should be able to get full performance for the entire time that I ride that scooter. And that's what made me want to review this scooter. So this scooter with the battery and the top end power that it provides should be able to give me immediate performance when I need it for the entire time that I use it. But for today, we're going to go ahead and unbox this flagship scooter, one of the top of the line scooters that you can get, what I call the Corvette of scooters. We're going to go ahead and unbox. So if you guys like that, stay tuned. We're going to get into it. This scooter, guys, is no joke. This was 180 pounds. I got the bill of lading when the guy showed me that this thing was 180 pounds. I was like, you got to be kidding me. 180 pound scooter. I damn near passed out just trying to get it in the garage. Get these cables unlocked. I got one back one here. All right. Now we should be free to lift the entire box up. Look at how beautiful they have this thing laid out. All these foams here aren't that crumbly white foam. This is like that high compression foam, and they have it like locked in place like Legos. Instructions are located inside this guy. Little lockout here. Very nice instructions. And then we'll go ahead and take this piece off over here. Dude, they did not skimp on this right here. This is some engineering to put all this stuff together. Looks like this handle will come up. And then I'll be able to get this out of the way. And then it looks like here we have the toolkit. All right, so basically here's what it looks like with the first unboxing and all the foams taken out of the way. The first thing that we're gonna have to do is to attach this handlebar and bring this stem up. And it has a locking mechanism down below here. I'm gonna bring you in closer and we're gonna get that attached. So on this mechanism here, as you raise the handlebar, this little attachment down here, there's a rubber insert. You're gonna have to get behind this thing and really push forward this way to bring this lock up into place and snap it up into place. And then this guy will come up and start to screw into this little teeny spot right here. It's like a little thumb screw, but it's very important that you get this thing done right, and that you have it all locked in place. Because for a bike this powerful, going as fast as it does, this is your life right here. So you got to get this part right. All right. Let's have a look and see what we got inside the toolkit. Headlight. They say this is the ones that normally come on the Surons, but I've never had a Suron, so I wouldn't know. But looks very quality to me with the twin projector style headlights here. Very nice. The rear tire hugger fender that goes in the back. So if you're using it for street, you're going to want this to keep the splashes and the water from splashing up on your back. We'll attach this here in a little bit. And what do we have in the box? We have two boxes. This box right here comes with a few of these hex wrenches. One of these portable hex wrench kits, which is really nice to have on you, just in case you're out and about. Keep this in your little box in case you have to make a minor adjustment when you're out in the field. Looks like we've got some screws and bolts here. We'll figure out where these go. Some reflectors and some more side reflectors. In this box over here should be the charger. Indeed it is. Wow, this is a heavy duty charger too. I could just feel the weight on this thing, is no joke. What kind of a charger did they give us? Looks like an output 84 volt 5 amp charger. Very, very good. Here's what the manual looks like. Let's see what we got here. It says electric scooter quick guide. That's what I want, the quick guide. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this here, read it really quick, and then come back and put this bike together. So the very first thing we got to do is to attach the headlight to this hole right here. Let's really get this in here and tighten that up. This is a little bit tedious because the tool can't spin 360. You can only get little teeny incremental turns on this in order to tighten it down. But we're almost there. Alright. Okay. And then we'll come in on the sides and tighten these things down so this is not flip-flop all the way. I'll figure out the angle that I need, so I won't go too tight on it. The angle of the stem will always be the same, so all we need to do is to get this thing into somewhat right position, and then we can lock it down into the exact angle that we need later on when we get it out there into the field. But headlight done. What I would recommend is before you put the handlebar on, untighten this display, because you're going to need to rock the display front to back in order to evenly put these bolts on, and the display is just in the way as it's on tight. Don't just try to bend it, because I have heard of people saying that they broke these things before that actually attach it to the handlebar. So we're going to unloosen that and get back to tighten this up here. Not sure how I want the handlebar, but for right now, I'll just spin this thing down and kind of cinch it down into something that looks halfway decent, and we'll figure out the rest later on when we get out into the field and actually test ride it. And try to do it in a crisscross pattern. So upper left, bottom right, bottom left, and then upper right. That crisscross pattern, so you don't strip the bolts out. Remember, man, this is your life, guys. The handlebar and the stem, you're going to be going fast on this bike, so you want to get this thing right. Okay. InMotion made mention to me that there is a specific reason why they left these cables open and color-coded this way. They could have connected this themselves at the factory, but they wanted this to be open so that any user that purchases the RS can fully customize this bike to their liking. If you would like to add better blinkers, better horn, a bigger headlight, even put a radio in, they have the wiring connector down here for you to upgrade this and fully customize this scooter to your liking. So I guess the next thing we're going to look at is all these connectors here. They're all color coded. Looks like black, red, orange, and blue. And it's just about connecting them to the corresponding connectors. These connectors have arrows on them. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and align the arrow with the arrow that's on the connector and push them into place. This arrow and this arrow looks like it goes together. Okay. And the same thing with the red to the reds. Blue to blue, on fourth, and on fourth. Let me see. And the black here, black arrow should line up. There you go. So we have the right side done, and then we'll continue on to the left side. You're going to have two blue connectors, okay? Try not to crisscross them. The blue connector coming from the display will go into the harness that's down below here. Has nothing to do with the left-right harnesses. And then all you'll need to do here is to wrap it all together with this braid or conduit to keep everything looking nice and tidy. What you should have left is something that looks like this. I'm probably going to come back here and just throw a little bit of zip ties inside here to clean this up a little bit, but for the most part that's what it is. Everything else is connected. Only last thing that we're going to need to do is go down below and connect the headlight harness, which is right here, which should be white, which is all that's left. Arrow to arrow. So far the assembly process has been pretty straightforward, which is what you would normally expect from, you know, any type of a flagship e-bike or scooter. All we had to do down here was attach the headlight, come back up, attach the 4 bolts to mount your handlebar, put all of your electrical connectors in place, and then come back and put the headlight connector in place, and that's it. The INNMOTION RS comes with 11 by 4 inch, looks like street tires here, guys, none of those knobbies. We have hydraulic calipers down here with 160 millimeter rotors front and back. This scooter has a unique transformer feature right here. I'm going to show you if you guys can get in there. You see those little teeny bolt holes? You can actually adjust that axle. And what it'll do is it'll drop the damper spring down to where you have different ride modes, where you could ride high for off-road, middle for city and street usage, and then you could drop it really, really low if you're going to actually be racing around on it. It does come with front and rear adjustable suspension here, so you can adjust the spanner wrench down below to make the springs tighter or softer, and you have damper adjustment with that little turnbuckle right here. You can turn that little knob and you can make it lighter or harder depending on how you like to ride, just by adjusting and twisting that knob. And you have that in the front and in the rear. Alright, so I pulled the INNMOTION RS out of the box and let it stand on its own. I put a little plate on the bottom here because I want to see just how this thing feels with me standing on it at its current height, which is, it's extended to its highest height already. And I just think that I could probably drop this thing down another inch, inch and a half, and it would feel more comfortable to me. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. So in order to adjust these handlebar down, you have these marks right here. I guess this is going to be your bottom out point and the maximum that you can drop it. And you'll be able to drop it anywhere in this range. And the way that you would normally do that here is you're going to unloosen these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in doing so, these clamps will come undone and you should be able to slide your bar down. But I'm going to let you know that that's not the case. I just tried it and it was so hard. Even when I removed all 4 of the bolts, the handlebar did not just want to slide down. I ended up unclamping the handlebar, laying it flat, and then I was able to undo these clamps here and slide it. But in this position right here, clamped up like this, it did not want to slide freely no matter how much I slammed it around. So my advice would be for you, if you're going to be making this adjustment right here, go ahead and unclamp these bolts down here, undo this lock, lay the handlebar down flat, make your adjustments. You should be able to slide the poles now and then tighten everything back up and then bring it back up and clamp it. But I was not able to move the handlebars up and down while it was in this locked position. And I didn't see anywhere in the manual where it showed me how to actually make this adjustment, so it was just something that you just learn along the way. Below this humongous floorboard here, guys, is a 84 volt 40 amp hour battery, which the website suggests can go up to 100 miles, but that's all going to depend on how fast you're riding this, the type of topography that you're on, if there's lots of hills, bridges, and so forth. And realistically, the harder you are on the throttle and the higher you are and the closer you are to the maximum speed, that mileage will come down. You do get a 5 amp charger. If you divide the 40 amp hour battery by the 5 amp charger, you're going to get a charge time of around 8 hours to charge this up. However, the scooter does come with 2 charging ports right here. 1, 2. So if you were to buy 2, if you were to get 2 of these chargers right here and plug them in, theoretically you should be able to plug both of these in, run them tandemly, and you would be able to get this scooter fully charged within a period of around 4 to 5 hours. All right, so coming up to the cockpit, looks like here we have a half twist throttle. They've got some protection tape that's on it right now, so that in transit it doesn't twist. Yeah, so handle with a half twist throttle. You have your power button and you have your power mode up and power mode down on this side right here. I also see the hydraulic brakes, and these hydraulic brakes have reservoirs in here. As you can see, this is the hydraulic fluid reservoir, and there's a sight glass on there. That's pretty cool. You know, I never seen any e-bikes or scooters with a sight glass, guys. And not only on that side, you have a sight glass on this side as well, just like a regular motorcycle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the LCD display here. We're going to cut the power on. Right away, I see the trip meter, the Odo battery, RPM, and miles per hour gauge. It looks like a gear icon over here. I'm not too sure. I haven't messed around with the instructions yet. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. In the meantime here, we're going to look over at the left hand side here where the handlebars are. It looks like we have a headlight, turn signals, and cruise control, and a horn. So the horn, my God, that is just like a car. I think that's even louder than my car. Turn signals here for the left, and then turn signals for the right. Headlight. Now, I couldn't find a way to cut the turn signals off. They're automatic shut off, so as you kick the turn signal on, it's going to stay doing that for a few seconds. 5 seconds, man, and it'll automatically turn itself off, so it's self-canceling. You don't have to shut them off. So if we go here and hit the left turn signal, you're going to see right down here, pretty nice. Very bright. Now, these are useful. That's something that could actually be useful. If you're out in the street, they can clearly see right here that you're turning left. And if you turn the headlight on, you could see the brake light, right? In addition to the turn signal. So you can clearly see that this person is making a left turn when you take a look at the brake light, and then you see the turn signal. And then over here on the right side, you've got the right turn signal. And then your brake lights, of course. Now it appears so that if you have your headlight on, you're going to get these low running lights front and rear. You're going to get those running all the time. They're going to be like fog lights, okay? Those are not your turn signals. In the front, your turn signals are going to be up here. Check that out. And left, up on the handlebars. The first thing that catches my attention on this here, guys, is how big this floorboard is. My goodness, man, this is like an aircraft carrier compared to what I would normally be working with. Look at this. So I got a 9.5 foot. Look at all this real estate that I have in here, man, to move around. Look at that. I have so much room in here to position my feet any way that I want. Goofy foot. Left foot forward, which is predominantly how everybody else rides. But yeah, you could put your foot back here in this position, or you could just ride in this position. So much room on this, man. Absolutely wonderful. So if you take a look at this scooter compared to your traditional scooter, this is actually a performance scooter over here. It's not like your personal transportation scooter that you would see rental scooters. This is an actual performance scooter, but next to the INNMOTION RS, it looks like a baby little toy. If we measure the size of the deck lid and the footrest on the INNMOTION RS, you are going to get somewhere around 29.5 inches. And if you measure the deck lid on this scooter over here, we're looking at a total of 23. So you can clearly see the real estate difference between the two scooters. However, if you are looking for a scooter that you can just fold up and throw into a car, bring upstairs and so forth, this type of a scooter is going to weigh close to around 65, 70 pounds. This is going to be the kind of scooter that you would want to do that. This scooter over here, guys, is going to be more along the lines of like a motorcycle. Yes, it does have the ability to fold down and transport that way, but trust me, at 150 plus pounds, that's not something that you're going to want to be doing all the time. Overall, I feel that this scooter right here comes with everything that you would need if a traffic police officer were to stop you. As long as you have your helmet on and you're not driving like an idiot. You're going to have your headlight, tail light, brake light, rear turn signals, fog lights, and you're going to have useful turn signals up above with horn action. This right here, guys, is functional transportation that is legal and safe. Alrighty, everybody, so that was my initial unboxing and overview of the professional INNMOTION RS electric scooter. If you folks like the INNMOTION RS and you need more information, pricing or specs that I didn't cover, a link to their website will be located down in the description box. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will actually take INNMOTION RS out to Lake Mead, run it through all of its paces, test it on inclines, open roads, and trails. Once again, guys, I'm Joey. You're watching VegasDtech Reviews. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys in the next video upload. You guys be well.